All right, welcome back to Less Cash, More Mash. My name's Tom.
And my name is Mike.
So today we're going back to Ireland. Maybe. I want to stress that.
It says made in Ireland.
It says right on it, product of Ireland. So there wasn't a whole lot going on with Wolfhound Irish Whiskey. It's a blend of a couple of them anyways. It's comprised of both a single malt and a single grain, but for many other distilleries, different distilleries, is what the way they made it sound. Yeah, my fun facts may be a little funny today because I'm not 100% sure. I got that it was supposed to be a product of the Cooley Distillery. Don't know if that's true or not, which was named because it's called the Gentle Giant of Irish Whiskey. That's what that actually says it on the bottom right here. Anyway, so the distillery that it's supposed to be made in was converted in 1987 from an older potato alcohol plant by entrepreneur John Teeling, who actually I have heard that name before. So this one, on the other hand, I've never seen it. This was you, and this was a Total Wine and More. Right. I don't know if it's an exclusive or not. $18.99 for 750 milliliters.
I want to say no. I wanted to say I just seen that today.
An 80 proof. I did a quick flyby of the Irish section.
I told you I stopped today and
yeah. I did.
I want to say it was there.
I was looking at the Irish today myself, and I said, nope, we have a few, and I already had a full cart. So
I wasn't really looking for that because I was looking for their hometown, but it wasn't there.
I did not see that. I did look for that real quick. It didn't jump out at me.
A quick look.
Yeah.
It's darker than like the Donegal and a lot of the Dunville.
Yeah.
Actually, Dunville, I guess, was the latest one we did.
It was, and it had a heavy peat smell too. Like it had a very smoky one on it. I almost bought some of the old smoky moonshine again today. They have two different levels.
I am so hard pressed to walk by that every time. But bowl of cherries and
they have all kinds of flavors at my store. I looked at it. They have an 80 proof in a bottle, and they have a 90 proof in 100 proof in a mason jar of their actual moonshine. And I almost bought it today, and I went, nope, got a full cart of it.
It'll come eventually.
No, it will. And that's just going to be a neutral, that's going to be their neutral grain spirits, as I like to call it. Yeah. It's just going to be the...
funny, because a couple of the girls are seeing the habanero one, Old Smoky, and then decided to go get the moonshine, but they didn't get Old Smoky, and she said it was pretty...
Oh, yeah, a little rough.
She didn't know what to mix it with because it was killing her.
I drank my share of moonshine. I know Tracy had bought me one time. I did drink the whole bottle and wake up in the closet, but that's another story. But and
that was just a water bottle?
Yeah, I drank like half the bottle. I had to shut the closet doors. I thought I was going to fall in them. It was bad. I was sleeping on the floor. But I was on vacation. That's why I got lost. You never know where the stuff is. It does have I haven't tried it yet, though. Let me take a sip first for you. Now, smell, I was getting a little bit of smell. That had a bunch of flavor, though. That was actually...
It was almost like a floral one now, to me. I didn't really get an oak that time. It was almost like
I got that slightly peated, very slight. Like sometimes I get that
Scotch. That one, not like a Scotch.
Just slight.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, even less than the Dunville.
I might even have like again, this is like the...
Trying again.
I kind of, it's like a light.
It's a weird smell to me today.
I don't know. I'm getting like a half butterscotchery, but it's like weak.
Very weak. That's what I would go. Not butterscotch either. It's a cross in between butterscotch and
It's not a Werther's.
No. It's in between there somewhere. It's not really a honey, or is it?
But then that would almost, it could be like a honey.
You know what I mean? Almost like a Bit-O honeys. Remember the little Bit-O honey candies? Like that's what I'm
more
thinking.
Like a peanut butter kind of to me, though, always.
Yeah, but this doesn't scream butterscotch like that.
It's
that other one. It's not a full blown. Yeah. It's not a full blown butterscotch smell though. I keep buying candies like a crazy person, like all the flavors in between, trying to get them. I was doing the banana runs and the sugar babies and stuff.
So you'll see us in the whiskey aisle, then you'll see us in
the candy aisle. Honestly, that has a nice tongue feel. Like it sits, it coats actually. It does. It's kind of oily. The flavor kind of sits there. It's not a long finish though. It goes away fast.
And it's a sweeter. To me, this is sweeter again.
Yeah. You don't even know there's any proof to it at all. Like at all. No. But when it hits your tongue, it's not like. What was that one over there that tasted like you were drinking flavored water? This actually gives you a burst of flavor when it the nose. It doesn't give you a ton on the nose.
I only really have like that very scotchery,
and I'm almost getting that slight peat, like it's been smoked a million years ago and it's wearing off. You know what I mean? But I don't really taste the peat very much.
No.
And I'm wondering if that'll come out once it sits a little bit, but. I will say though, so much more flavor. Than
you almost have at the very, very end, after somewhat's clear, you almost have like a caramel-esque on the finish at the very end to me. Very, very end. Like even now you can kind of I get a hint of it now. A lot when I'm drinking it. I still kind of get
It coats pretty good though, because I'm like scrubbing the inside of my mouth like a crazy person over here, and it's like coming off.
You can still feel it on your tongue.
Yeah. Like I can. It's still like.
Exactly.
It's not a long
not
finish.
Like Gilbert's where it disappeared.
It was instantly gone. Right.
But similar to that, as far as like drinkability, this is like
very drinkability.
And I don't think you'd want to mix this one.
No, and I would smash this one. Like this would be like really like it's such an easy drinker. You would be like, oh, my cup's empty again.
Yeah,
one of them deals. Like, let me fill.
And next thing you know, 80 proof is like
it's like cup's empty again. Oh yeah.
Hold on to your shorties now.
Yeah, exactly. No, this one's almost in that danger mode where it drinks so
it's
light and easy,
too friendly.
Yeah,
I still get a sweet, like a.
I bet this opens up and you get a little more of the, because you can smell if you dig in there, like I'm starting to get, now it's sitting in a cup, I'm starting to really get that Dunville peat. Not to that extent yet. But there was one you brought home, and then when you were like, it really tastes like, and I'm like, what? And then you brought it back, and it was peppery, totally different. I forget which one it was.
Kilburn?
It could have been. There's none of that though.
No.
I don't even taste like there's a rye.
Remember I told you that had like a false sense of
like it was
like a habanero. Yeah, like a habanero. I think it was Kilburn. I don't think it was Kavanaugh. No.
I haven't gone back at those.
We lowered both of them. One of us lowered both of them.
I haven't gone back at any of them because I'm afraid to empty them, because I don't. Those were your Total Wine and Moors, both of them, and like
I'm sure I'll be going back.
No. Again. They're there to be drank. It doesn't matter to me.
Matters to our wives.
I think it's funny because I get yelled at all the time because she's like, I saw the bottles are really empty, and I don't want to say, wasn't me. You know, I was like, well, some of them are definitely me. Them are, you know.
It's tougher on the weekends.
Honestly, this was
if I finished my one that I grabbed, that's a regular. It's got a sweet finish. I just can't, and it's not a syrup this time. It's more.
The more it sits in the cup, though, the more it's bringing out that peat smell, like the smoky, just a little bit. It's not nearly as strong as the Scotches, but it's in there.
I told you the other day, I'm leaning way more towards these and the whiskeys and the bourbons than the Scotch.
You know, and it's like we've been saying all along, and I agree. I told you when I first started, I was drinking Scotch because it was the cheapest thing out there at the time.
I think I would have switched pretty quick on those.
I drank it for years, and then I switched over to bourbon, and then once you start getting like so many more flavors, I was like, oh no, I'm gonna stay with the bourbon instead. And I agree with you, but see, and that's the funny part is because I never really went Irish, because in our store, or my store, I should say, there's not a lot of cheap Irish usually. Like you found a lot of cheap, I don't want to say cheap, but inexpensive Irishes where, you know, a lot of times it's Jameson and up. You know what I mean?
They're always there.
Yeah, no, right. And you know, I looked at it real quick, and it's Tellermandu, Bushmill, Jameson Black, Jameson this, Jameson that. Well, I didn't even see that one actually, but I kind of flew through the Irish section really quick.
A couple that I've never heard of. And I actually
almost grabbed one because it was
a dead rabbit today, and I did not see it.
It was a funny name, and I almost bought it just strictly on the name, because sometimes you're just gonna buy something because it's stupid.
We had both.
And I had it in my hand.
Stay tuned, because he's got a couple.
I got a couple good ones. I can't wait to try them. And I put it back because I already had a cart full, and I'm like, we didn't even need to buy any because we already had a bucket of them over here, and I just, you know. This is what happens when you get a collection. It becomes an addiction. And the next thing you know, you're in a store constantly. You're looking all the time. And I don't shop where you can just grab them anymore. I got to bring a cart. And then I'm walking out with, they give me wine boxes full of stuff. And I'm like, well, you know, here's my life savings. Thanks for coming. You know, it really is.
What are you doing? Because obviously we're walking out with like most of their low end.
Yeah.
And they're like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
You having a party? Oh, no.
No, and I had one kid high-fiving me at the store the other day because he was like, I said, I'm starting a collection, this and that. He's like, nice, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He's like, oh, you got a bunch of good ones. So stay tuned. We do have a bunch of good ones, and but I do like to throw in these that I've never heard of, because we found a lot of hidden gems. I will say that between, mostly, I got to give you 90% of the credit, because a lot of the ones that you've come up with, but really, there's some of them up here though that I found.
You can get there's a few we can get. You can get in a regular store. You don't have to go to Total Wine.
No, most of them. There's a lot of them. There certainly is. But
we were just talking actually prior to this, and there's still 3 or 4 1.75s that are. A couple are still under 15, and a couple are under 20.
Under 20. No, yeah.
We want to try to mingle those in as well, because obviously we're kind of still at the low end, but. We want to try to cover as many as we have here, anyway, and then.
Want to kind of switch it up. We don't want to bore anyone with, because some people might not be interested in. I don't want to pick on Wolfhound because it's actually pretty good, but let's pick on the other one we did that wasn't that good. You know, Gilbert's. You know what I mean? We don't want to just give you all of them, because then people are going to tune out. So we're going to try to mix them in, like a good one, a bad one, a good one, a bad one. Or really, we haven't had a bad one. I mean, we haven't had a bad one.
For the most, Gilbert's, I would just keep that as low end. I wasn't happy with that one.
No. I would 100% get 10 high for $15 and be happier. Yeah, like I agree.
And just because these are probably Total Wine exclusives, I would say almost everybody can kind of get to one.
The good thing is they haven't made a bad product. And even the ones that we've said it before. I'm not really sure about, this whole neck pour thing. Doesn't matter. But it seems like even some of the ones I've gone back, like Winchester, Kentucky's Best, that Trader Joe one, we didn't really give good reviews. We were new with the channel, and I wasn't getting half the smells and the taste that I get now. But
I'm still lacking.
I think I'm better, but I'm still terrible. Yeah. Oh no, I'm still a whiskey noob. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, because if you read after we do these, and then
you never go back and look.
I've gone back just to say, were we out to lunch, and that's if we even have information on it. And sometimes we're pretty close, and sometimes it's again, it's our discretion.
So. I really don't. I don't hate this one at all. I actually kind of like it.
It's very easy.
Like
you said, you could.
This is one of the.
You have to sit this one off to the side. You'd be like.
For all the Kevins that like Jameson, though, I think it has that tail, just a tiny tail of Scotch. I don't know that if it's not going to develop in a day or so, where it has more. I don't know if they like that, because Jameson doesn't have any of that peated smell to me. What I can remember,
it kind of has that ethanol hit kind of to start. To me. And I would say, Kevin, I don't think you would have to mix this with water.
Oh no, 100%.
This is you. No, for the price. It's almost 2 for 1. And
then again, you were just telling a story where he had a Scotch. So if you like that, he would love this.
He hated that.
Yeah, but this doesn't have that Scotch. Right. Like if he had to drink the Scotch,
he's the one who challenged us.
Oh, okay, that one, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm in. I'll try anything.
Well, and I did see it today. Isla missed, so I'll get it. And
well, that's the one that he said.
yeah.
We weren't sure exactly which one.
Well, no, because he said it says Isla in the name, and
okay.
It's a green bottle. He thought it's something else, but I seen one.
I didn't go in the Scotch section either because honestly,
I was regretting it.
I agree with you that the more that we do these, the more that I've ventured off. As you can see, it's the one full bottle we have left of the 3 Scotches over there. The rest of them getting a little low, but this one right here though, I highly recommend. I think the price $19.99. You can't beat that with a stick. I think it has a lot of.
Did you pay attention what Jameson was? I didn't even pay attention today. How much?
I thought the regular one was 31, but don't quote me.
But this?
It could. I don't remember. I don't remember. You know why? Because they had a special age.
A handle. Oh,
no, they had a special one in the front. Like when I was going through the Irish, it was. I forget what the name of it was. It wasn't just Jameson. It was like Jameson something something. And so I was like, not buying that, you know. And I just kind of went on. But I thought there was another Jameson in the back. I want to say it was 31.
Right,
I don't know the price. Right. We said we are going to eventually buy one, but again, my cart was already half full, and I already put back 3 other ones that I wanted to buy that were like I've had in the past that I don't remember, that were name brand, supposed to be really good. So, because we're in that realm now where you're a brat, where we
he's getting sneakier.
Yeah, well, he banged on the table. He thought he heard someone coming home. So no, that's all right. It happens. That's what happens when you have a dog. Nothing you can do. So there you go. This one's for you, Wolfhound. That's you, Wolfhound. And I recommend it. I think it's actually really good for the price. I don't think if you're looking for something different, because you're talking probably half price of what Jameson.
You wouldn't have to choke this one down like your Isla. This is actually pretty tasty.
No, and I only mentioned because I can almost smell the peat. And sometimes a day later,
I'm still getting.
That was my story. I started. I got sidetracked.
Butterscotchery to me, still.
There is a candy-esque in here, and I don't know what it is. I can't. I don't.
I say you rolled out one of those yellow branches, butterscotch.
I'll go butterscotch because it does bring you towards butterscotch more than it brings you towards caramel. But I'm not sure I'm at butterscotch yet. I'm not getting the caramel. That's what I'm saying. I'll lean more towards that. There's got to be something in the in between. I am getting a little like the oatmeal now that the glass is almost done. And it's been sitting a little bit. Honestly, you can shut your mouth and snort in and I barely get any alcohol at all. It's like barely anything. Like, you know, nobody likes to hear smooth.
You could end up getting in trouble.
This is a...
Like you said.
This is a bloop, 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 bloop. That's what that is.
My glass is empty.
Yeah. Like, oop, bottle's empty. This one could get you in trouble. So
makes for a long Monday.
You know what? And it's deceiving because the nose is so thin, but when you put it on your tongue, it hits you with a bunch of flavor. It is a sweet. It's
tasty.
It's a blast of flavor though. Like it's really like to me like some of the ones we'll take that one over to the Gilbert soup where you drank it and it was kind of like. You know, it just had no flavor, no taste, no nothing. It didn't smell like anything. It tastes like anything.
And it didn't really have an action either. You know,
no.
There was no. That was really. That's like super easy. Again, it was still 80 proof.
That reminded me of grain alcohol without the grain. Like it has no flavor, no taste. It's just kind of there. You know what I mean? You got to mix it with a punch or something like that. But that just didn't even have the kick that a grain alcohol usually has. The thing. You know what I mean? It just had like there's no flavor, no taste. It's just an additive that you throw in there. But this one actually has a nice sweet, kind of sits on your tongue for a minute and then jumps away, but it does hit you with a little blast of flavor. So there you go. There is Wolfhound Irish Whiskey. It's product of Ireland. That's what it says on the bottle. But again, minimal information, minimal anything, but really for the price and the taste, you're not going to get much on the nose unless it opens. And again, for the 4th time, I tried to make this same conversation. We're trying to figure out whether this actually matters because sometimes a day later, we'll get a lot more flavor and taste out of it. So I don't know if we shouldn't.
I kind of like doing this way. But
do it this way, and then the next day, and then we always get a surprise.
We can make a comment.
We always get a surprise to say, yeah. So what I guess is I'm indirectly apologizing for the fact that we might not get everything on the first day, and then the next day you're like, holy butterscotch, where did this come from? And all of a sudden it opens up. So some of these have tricked us like that.
They have, actually, because, again, like you said before, I've taken them home, which is, 25, 30 minutes from here, and I'll sample it after something.
A handful of hours later, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, what just happened? We missed
all this.
Yeah. and it's like a total different whiskey than what we had originally. So I'm wondering, in order to try to give you the best review we could possibly give you, is it unfair to do an actual, but it is.
They did
an
test, though. People did this, and did videos and said it really didn't matter.
Some say it does, some say it doesn't, and then we've had others. But then there's others that have done the same thing we did, where they go back and they do a blind like 3 weeks later, and they're like, that didn't taste anything like that when we did the review.
It's hard. I mean, you can see the package that we have now, to remember all of them, it gets a little tough.
So, not apologizing, just stating facts. Like, sometimes these change overnight, and the next thing you know, you open them up and you're like, where was that the other day when I was talking about it? Or there's even been somewhere I was like, these are kind of okay, I kind of recommend them. And then the next day I'm like, wow, where was all this flavor? Now all of a sudden I'm pulling out, cherries and nuts.
We did that with a couple of the Trader Joe's ones.
Yeah, and then the next time you have it, you're like, what was that? I didn't ever remember any of that. So, bear in mind, your taste buds change depending on what you ate, your mood you're in, the time of day, all that stuff. That's what they say anyway. So it's all subjective. But if you like Irish, I'd give it a try. If you're like me that didn't drink a lot of Irish and you prefer bourbon, I think this is nice.
It is nice.
It's giving me different smells, but it's still giving me a bounty of flavor where it's not lacking in any means. I think this is actually really good.
So far, most of the Irish that we've done are 80 proof. So they're not, overwhelming in power.
Right. They drink a lot easier.
Some of them do have a little more of a kick, but other than powers, I think the rest of them have been
they
80
proof down. Right. They're
but
nice,
they have a great flavor.
They do. Yeah. So, all right. Well, there you go. There is our Wolfhound review. Once again. Anything else?
Hit subscribe.
There you go. I'll never say that because I can never remember it. But hit like, hit subscribe, and spend less, drink more. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers. See, I still get a nice sweet.
It is sweet.
Nice sweet.